It's a lovely morning and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the ICU TV Breakfast Show. Remember, we come to you every Monday, Wednesday, as well as a Friday, and it's a pleasure to know that you are on the other side of the screen. I am your host, yet another day of being alone. I'm me, shaking Jakwa Edgars, and of course, I'm not alone. I'm with my director, who is also on the transmission box, Chakubeva Miracle Msonda. Now, we are kicking off this beautiful edition of the Breakfast Show with what is on my mind. And remember, you can as well be part of this conversation by telling me what is on your mind, by just dropping a comment in the comment section and telling a friend to tell a friend that the ICU TV Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show is airing this morning. Well, what is on my mind this morning is just a gratitude. And that's the first thing. You need to be grateful to the Lord, grateful to the people that have shown up for you. And yes, we also need to be grateful to the people that have not, those that have not just shown up for us, because life is life in itself. And the second thing we need to do is to just, be grateful to ourselves. It's not every day that we need to show up when things are rosy. Even just showing up when it feels like there is nobody standing behind the scenes to just give you that pat on the shoulder to say, you know what, you're doing well. It is also okay to just show up and just be grateful and give yourself some grace, because eventually it is from the gratitude that a positive mindset erupts from, and before you know it, and we move on to the headline pick. We have government takes decisive action in Zambia to strengthen service delivery, and we also have the Vice President urging Mansa Council I beg your pardon, the Vice President urging Mansa Council to work on feeder routes. We also have Zambia marks World Health Day with a call to quality, science-driven healthcare. Of course, in sports news, we have Fuzz denies Houghton Club support at Copper Belt annual general meeting. More after this break.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance, qualifications, National Registration Card, NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Thank you so much for still staying attuned to the ICU TV's Breakfast Show Wednesday edition. And I earlier said before the break, you need to fasten your seatbelt, because today's edition promises to be bigger, brighter, and of course stronger than the other. And the stories that are making headlines this morning, we have a government has taken a decisive administrative action at the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, in a move aimed at strengthening efficiency, accountability, and service delivery in the health sector. We have more in this report.
The Ministry of Health has announced that the appointment of Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA board member and president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia, Mr. Kigan Mwape, has been revoked with immediate effect. The Pharmaceutical Society has been requested to nominate a new representative in line with its governing act.
I have with immediate effect revoked the appointment of Mr. Kigan Mwape, President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia, as board member of ZAMSA, the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia is hereby requested to nominate another representative in accordance with the provisions of its governing act.
In addition, 5 ZAMSA officers have been suspended to facilitate ongoing administrative and investigative processes.
Ms. Rachel Msmoko, Senior Manager, Supply and Planning, currently Acting Director, Supply Planning. She has been suspended with immediate effect and replaced with Mr. Oliver Mandre, Manager, Supply.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Alex Katakwe, has called upon the Drug Enforcement Commission and the Anti-Corruption Commission to urgently institute investigations into the matters concerning the suspended officers.
I am calling upon the Drug Enforcement Commission and the Anti-Corruption Commission to urgently institute investigations into matters concerning the suspended officers at ZAMSA.
Government has reiterated its firm stance against inefficiency, negligence and misconduct in the health sector.
Let me be clear. This government will not tolerate inefficiency, negligence or any form of misconduct in the management of medicines and medical supplies.
Measures have been put in place to ensure uninterrupted supply of medicines and medical supplies, highlighting the ministry's commitment to safeguarding public resources and delivering quality, equitable healthcare to all Zambians. For ICU TV in Lusaka, I am Golofana James.
Well, the Vice President Mutale Nalumango has directed the Mansa Municipal Council to improve the maintenance of feeder roads in the district. Mrs. Nalumango said the poor maintenance of feeder roads should become a thing of the past, noting that a government has also allocated 3 million kwacha to each constituency under the Constituency Development Fund for fuel and lubricants. She was speaking in Mansa when she addressed concerns raised by traditional leaders over the poor state of feeder roads in the district. The Vice President urged councils to fully utilize the allocated funds and deploy available earth-moving equipment to rehabilitate the roads. She has emphasized that local authorities have been adequately funded to ensure feeder roads are worked on across all constituencies. Earlier, the chairperson of the Luapula Province Council of Chiefs, Chief Uchsunka, appealed to the government to urgently improve feeder roads in the area. And we move on to the second story. The Minister of Health has officiated at Zambia's 2026 World Health Day, held at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in collaboration with the World Health Organization, held under the theme Together for Quality Health, Informed by Science. The event underscored Zambia's commitment to delivering quality, science-driven healthcare for all citizens. Speaking during the commemoration at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka earlier yesterday, the minister described the theme as a call to action, challenging the nation to move beyond simply providing access to healthcare services, instead focus on improving the quality of healthcare. More in this report.
Stand with science. This theme has been thoughtfully adapted to Zambia as Together for Quality Health, Informed by Science. This adaptation is not merely a change in wording, it is a call to action. It challenges us to move beyond access and focus on quality, ensuring that every health service we deliver is grounded in scientific evidence and meets the needs of our people. In practical terms, Together for Quality Health emphasizes that achieving quality health care is a shared responsibility. It requires collaboration across all levels: policymakers, healthcare providers, communities, and partners. Quality is not created in isolation. It is built through the fabric of teamwork, togetherness.
It is great to hear the Minister of Health, Dr. Alex Katakwe, just re-emphasizing the importance of having science and evidence-based health delivery. Even as the world is moving towards the digital era, it's only right that as a nation we move at the similar pace, inclusive of the health sector, because a health nation is a wealth nation. What is the point of having copper if we don't have healthy people to look after it? So on that note, we've come back to the first set of commercials. On the other side, I'll be back with more stories. Stay tuned.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education.
Welcome back, and this moves us to the story from the University of Zambia, where students have gathered to appreciate a government's quick response to sanitation challenges following the death of a second-year student, Emmanuel Walia, who drowned in a sewer pit on campus. Now, Precious Banda brings us more in this report.
Students at the University of Zambia gathered to show appreciation to the government and President Hakainde Hichilema for the rapid response in addressing long-standing sanitation issues on campus following the tragic death of a second-year student, Emmanuel Walia, who drowned in a sewer pit. The incident that sparked concern among students and parents, prompting authorities to implement collective measures which earned praise from the students.
We want to appreciate the works of the government, the works of the president. We have seen, we have confirmed, we have testified that they are moving at the speed of light, fixing our sanitation.
During the gathering, students also composed a song to encourage President Hakainde Hichilema not to get tired in his efforts to save them. The song expressed gratitude and hope that the ongoing improvement would continue.
To say to the Republican president, our president, is the other intention of body we knock up.
The government said it remains committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of students and pledged to continue working to improve sanitation and infrastructure across the university. Precious Panda reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
A beautiful song coming all the way from the University of Zambia. Students and indeed there is no dull moment at Zambia's highest learning institution. Now we move on to another story that is a little bit funny, where a 35-year-old Lusaka man, Mark Vlahakis, was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment with hard labor for stealing a jar of Jacob's coffee valued at 279.99 kwacha from a ShopRite, Cairo Road. Now, Vlahakis, a resident of Makeni, is a repeat offender who had previously committed a similar theft at the same supermarket. He is a single parent caring for 2 young daughters and has been facing financial difficulties. The Lusaka magistrate Mwandu Sakala emphasized the seriousness of the repeat offense and ordered that Vlahakis serve 6 months imprisonment with hard labor from the date of arrest. Now, the case highlights the judiciary's firm approach to deterring repeat theft, regardless of the value of the stolen items. Well, here is a 35-year-old man father of 2 daughters, repeating the same offense of having to steal Jacobs from Lusaka's Cairo Shoprite. How do you do that? And how do you just manage to do that? Yes, we've heard the excuses in the case to say, no, I've got financial difficulties, but you're 35. You are strong enough to do other things. You know, there's a lot of ways through which you can kill a rat. You can work, you can better still do the smallest things, such as, you know, just being a wheelbarrow pusher, to see to it that you fend for your daughters, because at the end of the day, it is all about the message that you are sending to your daughter. It is quite unfortunate that your innocent daughters will have to suffer, but think of it, only Jacobs. Alright, so we move on, and you're still watching the ICU TV's Breakfast Show. Remember, this is not a conversation between me and the screen, rather it is a conversation between me and you. And what you need to do is just make use of your comment section, drop a comment, and I'll be able to give you a shout out right here and right now. So yesterday marked 1 year since the passing of Edith Nawakwi, former president of the Forum for Democracy and Development, one of Zambia's most prominent opposition figures, remembered for her trailblazing role in public service and national politics. Now, my colleague Miriam Deborah Gamani has more to say on this.
Today marks 1 year since the passing of Edith Nawakwi, former president of the Forum for Democracy and Development, one of Zambia's most prominent opposition leaders. She died on April 7, 2025 at the age of 66 after a long and distinguished career in public service. Now, Nawakwi took over leadership of the party in 2004 after the late Christian Tembo, and played a key role in shaping opposition politics in the country. Now, in 1998, under President Frederick Chiluba, she made history as one of the first females to serve as Minister of Finance in Zambia and the Southern African Development Community. Born in Mwenzo, Northern Province, Nawakwi was an economist by training, having studied at the University of Zambia and Imperial College London. Now, throughout her career, she had several key government positions, including Minister of Energy, Agriculture and Labour, leaving behind a legacy of leadership and resilience. Now, the party she once led, the Forum for Democracy and Development (FDD), is currently represented in Parliament by one Member of Parliament, Bright Mindwe, who holds the Chawama parliamentary seat, a constituency that remains one of Lusaka's most politically active strongholds.
Well, 4 people have been arrested in Chadiza district, Eastern Province, following allegations that they attacked a local rider and stole his motorbike. The arrests angered fellow riders who later gathered at the police station demanding justice, forcing the police to intervene and use tear gas to restore order. ICU TV's Precious Banda has more in this report.
Four people in Chadiza district, Eastern Province, have been apprehended following allegations of attacking a fellow rider and stealing his motorbike. The suspect, whose names have not yet been disclosed, were later taken to the police station by fellow riders. However, tensions escalated when an angry mob gathered at the station demanding immediate justice. The situation quickly turned tense as the crowd attempted to take law into their own hands, prompting police to intervene and protect the suspects. Police later used tear gas to disperse the crowd and restore order. Authorities have since maintained calm while investigations into the matter continues. Precious Banda reporting for ICU TV News in Chadiza.
This story from Precious Banda leads us to another set of commercials, and on the other side we jump into your favorite, which is the health and fitness, and we move on to the social media trends. Stay tuned.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education. We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising.
Well, in our health and fitness, we have government has launched a cholera vaccination campaign in high-risk areas. And remember, even as the government is doing its best to see to it that cholera is perfectly controlled, we also have a role to play in making sure that we sanitize our environment and making sure that any slight symptom of diarrhea is not treated at home. You are better off going to the nearest health facility to get comprehensive care and treatment. We also have over 1,200 cases of new HIV prevention drug in Lusaka. Remember, the government is always doing its best to see to it that its people, which is the Zambian people, are protected perfectly. But I think we are the sole beneficiaries of our own health, and we should be the front liners with regards to protecting ourselves. Remember, we say prevention is better than cure, so let's not wait for the situations to deteriorate, be it headache, stomach pain, anything. Even if your finger is having a problem, you are better off going to a specialized professional to see to it that they scan you. You never know, because our bodies are machines on their own and they need utmost attention. Do not preempt when it comes to your health. And let me just take this opportunity to give a shout out to Gift Divine Chazia, who has said our morning starts with ICU TV, and indeed ICU TV Breakfast Show is the perfect dose for your morning starts. We take a break. When we come back, we dive into social media trends.
We kickstart your day with our headline pick with the top stories making news.
Then we go deeper in our story pick, where we break down issues that matter the most to you.
From the Health Desk, we share simple tips to keep you healthy and informed.
For Classic Fitness Minute, to get your body moving before the day begins.
And trending now, what's hot on social media?
Hello Zambia, my name is Amina Mutambo.
And I am Moluwa Erjemwana Mujende, and we bring to your screens the ICU TV Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much for still staying tuned to the Wednesday edition of the ICU TV Breakfast Show. And this is your favorite segment. And make sure you drop your opinions in the comment section, because a lot has been happening on the streets of social media, spanning from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Speaking of YouTube and BBC, we also have an interesting story where the Artemis second crew head back to Earth after historic journey. This is a group of 4 scientists, 3 men and 1 woman, who have taken NASA's project to its tangibility by, leaving our planet and just making sure that they rotate, or they go around the moon, to just see to it that These projects are, done in readiness for future activities. We've seen a lot of comments on social media, other people alleging that it is artificial intelligence, and we understand we are in the digital era, but it is tricky for us to to differentiate what is authentic and what isn't. But in the presence of notable media houses such as the BBC, the CNN, the Sky, I think this is very, very tangible. And to see to it that we've been able to follow their journey via YouTube, but the moment they were behind the moon, it was a whole 45 minutes of a disconnection somewhere there. And we've seen live pictures being posted on the social media platforms. We've also seen our very own ZNBC, ICU TV posting and just seeing to it that the internet or the world is updated on how it looks like in the outside. We've seen the most interesting one showing a clear demarcation between night and day, and a lot of people have commented, other people taking it to church by saying God is great and hallelujah. He is definitely great, because what do you mean the earth is standing in the atmosphere with no support whatsoever? And how are we not falling? There has been lots of debates coming online to say, we thought the earth is flat, and other people are saying no, it's a globe. But what do you think in the comment section? So drop a comment, and I'm reading your comments right here and right now. We move on, and let's talk about the much anticipated story coming all the way from Chaka Chaza Nyantando, popularly known as Pompey, who took to his social media this message. Deeply disappointed by our experience at the Livingston Crocodile Park, we planned a special family outing to take 5 of our nieces and nephews along with our 2 babies to see the crocodiles and snakes. For some of the kids, it was supposed to be their very first time experiencing the animals. We arrived at 1640, well within the advertised operating hours of 8 hours to 17 hours. However, we were met with a very rude refusal at the reception. We were told we couldn't enter because sessions take long and that we should have arrived earlier. Here is the issue. None of the posters or the official information states last entry time. How is a visitor supposed to just know this? In a city that prides itself on being tourist capital, hospitality should be the gold standard. It is a serious inconvenience to drive all the way there with a large group of excited children only to be casually turned away without a second thought. Hoping for a more professional perspective, I asked to speak to the manager. Instead of an apology or a solution, I was told that because it's Easter weekend, the staff were tired and hadn't had lunch. Now, just cutting off this story, I'm sure you can see on the screen, a lot of people have run with this story. Other people have called Pompey a last born to say, how are you taking your last born mannerisms to an innocent place? And other people, we've seen the likes of George Mutonga all the way from the United States of America saying, no, you should have gone earlier. We've seen Elson from that Z podcast defending Pompey and just making a comparison with a named place from South Africa, saying the Crocodile Park should have made it clear in black and white to say last visit is 1640. Now it has been taken by storm, and the marketing in this regard is quite amazing. Other people from the marketing and PR perspectives, and I think I agree with them, they've said this is free marketing because what do you mean this place has been given a free advert? And we've seen other people like Chile Shewalia, who is also a gospel artist, defending the brother in Christ, and people have expressed a mixed feelings, and I'm about to read a few comments on the same story to just see to it that we are on the same pace. And we've seen the president of the Zambia Association of Musicians, Brand, when they are popularly known as B-Flow, just laughing it out. And then we've seen notable personalities like Pastor Washi Mutambo calling him a giant killer, and just saying to say, with Christ, there is nothing like 1640. You can access him at any time. We've seen Cosmas sing, and we're laughing it out to say, "Amana crocodile," And then we've seen fans of Pompey saying, "Hope you are cooking a song out of this or croc giant killer." And what do you think? What is your thought on this story making rounds on the streets of social media? Are you able to access ICU TV past 1640? Yes, we are open 24/7, so feel free to just see to it that you make use of our social media platforms, because if on 24/7. So this is all we could accommodate on what's trending, and see me on the other side as I talk all things sports. Thank you so much for still staying glued to ICU TV's Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show. We continue with the sports story. Keith Mwemba says the Football Association of Zambia has not stopped providing grants and equipment to clubs, but it is implementing a more structured and transparent system. Speaking in Kitwe, he urged patience as reforms take effect and emphasized investing in local coaches. Meanwhile, Patrick and Lovu highlighted the grassroots development initiatives, which is while Elisha Matambo reaffirmed government support for football growth in the province. This is a positive news if you ask me, being a football fanatic. Anything to do with football locally, I'm a fan. So this is all we could accommodate on the football front, and see me on the other side as I conclude with the notice board.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to ICU TV Breakfast Show. Now, on our notice board, we have various shows lined up for you, coming your way in view of just keeping you informed and inspired. And it is right at this time that I would like to thank you on behalf of the entire ICU TV crew, in front and behind the scenes. You've been such an amazing audience, and thank you so much for being part of the journey and making sure that we hit a milestone of 70,000 followers on our Facebook page. Remember to continue telling a friend to tell a friend that we are here to keep you informed with the latest news and current affairs, as well as keeping you inspired with other motivational related shows. A lot of things are coming your way, and on behalf of my director Miracle Chakowewa Msonda, I am Mishe Kinjapa Edgars. See you on a Friday, and stay tuned to our news coming at 12 hours, as well as our main news at 20 hours. Once again, I was with Miracle Chakowewa Msonda on the transmission box, and I am your host Mishe Kinjapa Edgars. Good morning, win today.